Election Day. We are here for Token Tuesdays. This is the show where we toke herb.
Talk a little bit of mess.
We talk shit. Come on now.
Mess. All right. I'm a little mellow today.
You can tell this is not Mario. EBK Mario could not be here today with us because, yes, it is week 2 of his newborn baby, so he is at home giving her love. He will be back with us next week. But this is a good show because, again, my husband, Aaron Ramirez, is here with us to help me talk with our guest today. And it's so wonderful because my guest and my husband are also friends, so this will be terrific.
Yes.
Anyways, it's Token Tuesdays, where we toke herb, talk shit, and teach folks about all things dope. I want to thank you for being here with us today. As usual, in our usual stoner delay, we were a little bit behind. It's 4:23. I've already taken my dab, so go ahead and get into yours.
I got mine in.
Before we move forward, let's just make sure we thank the people that make this all possible. There is such a thing as CBD. It's cannabidiol. It comes from the wonderful cannabis plant, our favorite vegetable. And our friends at EBK Apothecary make an amazing product. It is ancient medicine for the modern consumer. Visit www.ebk-cbd.com for more information. Also, new to joining the team is Maitri Kids. This is a clothing line for kids that encourages activism, and 8% of every sale goes back to an aligning charity. So that is shopmaitri.com. Visit shopmaitri.com for more information. All right, y'all, we've done the housekeeping.
That's right.
All right, housekeeping done. Here we are. Housekeeping. Welcome to Token Tuesdays. This is my main man, Aaron Ramirez, and he's joining us today. I don't know why he's wearing his sunglasses, y'all. Sometimes he be acting crazy when he smokes. Sometimes.
My eyes are really low.
Let's talk about what's on the bar because I want to get into this show because Rico is here with us. Rico Lamitte is here. He is the Cannavisionary at Cannavision. There he is, and he's done so many things. So let me just tell you real quick about Jelly. This is what's on the bar. You know, at Club Kindness, our job is to teach new consumers how to integrate cannabis for cannabis-inclusive wellness. We're always going to talk to you about the best ways to be consuming your cannabis. My favorite thing, you know, I'm Mskindness B. I love to eat my weed. Jelly is a new gummy that I've been trying out. I like them. One, I love this reusable packaging. We always want to find companies that are thinking about what they're putting on the planet. Can I use this again? I'd love to see them develop some sort of recycling program. I'm calling you out, Jelly. But it's well done, easy to read label, child-proof like it's supposed to be. You ate some of these. How'd they taste?
I ate some of these. Honestly, at first, they don't taste good.
Huh! You didn't like the taste?
No,
okay.
It has a weird taste. But afterwards, it settles in. It's like the initial taste. I don't know what it is. It's like,
and you know, everybody's taste buds are different. I actually really enjoyed the pineapple.
Oh, okay.
The onset took a while. For me, it was like 2 hours.
Yeah.
So there is that. You know, as we teach consumers, depends on what you ate before, what you eat after, body type, all of that. That's why it's really important to try something and then try it again. And then document how you're feeling to really decide how it works for your body. Low and slow is the method. I like that these are 10 milligrams. You can bite it in half if you want less. Well done product, Jelly. Good job. They are on the Responsible Brands Registry. You can check that out at clubkindness.org. All right, so without further ado, let's talk about what's happening because the world is like, it's turning.
It's kind of going crazy.
The world is turning. So here we are. Welcome to the stage. Rico Lamitte.
What's happening?
Visionary, friend, brother in cannabis. So excited to have you on Token Tuesdays with us.
Oh my God, this is the biggest round of applause I've gotten since high school.
That's how we do it here at Token Tuesdays. We want to make you feel welcome, you know, in the intro web. That's the audience. That's a live studio audience here that you can't see. Not really. They're all social distancing.
Outstanding.
So I brought you on. We brought you in.
Ludicrous.
That's ludicrous. For this first part, what we really like to do is make sure that people know what's going on in the world. And today is like I mean, obviously what's going on is we're having one of the most impactful, important elections in American history.
Right.
Yeah, right? Yeah, so
100%.
100%. So today I want to make clear today is voting day because as many state Supreme Courts have said, we might go well into 2 to 3 weeks figuring out who the actual electorate is, right? Who actually wins. Exhale, because I just got a little bit of anxiety talking about today. Just got a little bit. I just want to highlight real quick what's important, what's in the news. 35 seats are up for Congress, okay? Aside from the presidential election, the Senate really has a lot of power in our country. A lot of power. We don't currently have the Senate. It's the reason why we've got these 2 seats that we lost, potentially 3 on the Supreme Court. 15 can be flipped and need to be flipped to blue. I just want to put that out there, let everybody know that is vitally important. And you have until 8 p.m. and wherever you are to vote. How are you feeling today about this, Rico?
I mean, I don't know. It's just another shiny object to me. I mean, you know I came here to talk some shit.
Yeah, I know. So go ahead. Come with it.
I feel you, man.
I mean, like all of this shit, man, that's going on, like this whole Donald Trump thing and Joe Biden. Our country is getting a lot of its own medicine right now. You know, and a lot of chickens are just coming to roost. And the one country that never apologizes for shit is finally beginning to pay for it, and it sucks.
Because we're in it.
It sucks because we're here, because we're in it. It's a double-edged sword because I'm like, some days I'm real grateful, you know. I'm like, okay, this is it. But then I'm like looking at my house, looking at my neighbors, worried about,
Right. And I apologize. The thing is, like, this is the kind of shit that you want to read in the history book. Like, it already happened. You know?
Yes.
But we're right in the middle of it, and it sucks because a whole bunch of shit's going down right now all at once, and a whole bunch more shit's going to happen before we see any relief to this. And but still, there's a lot of opportunity. And I think that's what a lot of people should look at it that way. And when they can get past these shiny objects, which is Donald Trump's racism, racist tweets, and then, you know, all these other people being undercover racists all of a sudden.
Shit is getting stirred up, so finally a rising.
Right.
We have to be able to say, we see the shit.
That's not what matters.
Shit.
Right. Shit, that's not what matters. You just see it, identify it, yeah.
Like people should be, you know, so I was in corporate finance for 10 years, and I felt so bad when I was in corporate finance because I knew like how to pick stocks, how to counsel investments and stuff like that. And I couldn't really translate that to people who looked like me. A lot of my black friends, brown friends, and my pro athlete friends, like they were all like blow the money when you get it. And and I would always say, like,
yep.
Right? I would tell them, like, yo, I'm telling you, I work with these ultra rich, like, white folks. Millionaires and billionaires are made in the down market, you know? But the problem is a lot of people who look like us, especially the ones that I came up with
didn't have access to that information. They didn't have access to that information. And you know, you and I share this because same. I was like, this is why we had universal life insurance early. This is why we knew, like, oh, you know, you could borrow from yourself. Oh, that's how you buy your kids a house when they're 20 years old. But this is access we had because I was hanging out with like a different demographic. That gave me access to more affluent black people as well. And then you start to move in those circles. I was lucky because my father was in the military and he made sure that like he put us in those circles. But it's
what branch?
He was a Marine, Vietnam vet.
Right?
Yes.
Nice.
And then became an officer and then worked in Santa Monica. And so it gave us a lot of access. And that means...
Do you know Fred Smith?
I know the name. And I feel like we've talked about Fred Smith.
Yeah, he's my business partner, my COO at Canavision as well. He's a U.S. Marine Corps vet, intelligence specialist.
Look, okay, so this is the perfect transition because you starting to talk about like I'm gonna switch the screens. I'm gonna take it out of the new screen because now here we are with just us on the screen so everybody can see. I want to welcome again, just one more time. I want to say Rico Lamitte, thank you for joining us today on Token Tuesdays. Okay, Rico is currently the senior Canavisionary, Canavisionary at Canavision, and I'm excited to hear about that new venture. Just a tremendous brother, y'all. Listen, like has worked in cannabis for a few years. I've known him personally. I call him a friend now. Definitely. Also a new father, which is very exciting. Family
man.
Yes.
Can you say that? Family man.
Family man. Has a new podcast about that, which we'll talk about. Advocate for the BIPOC community, not only in cannabis, but also outside of it. Activist, right? Like, this man is just doing good shit. So welcome again to Token Tuesdays. Thank you for being here. I want you to come right back into what you were talking about because you jumped into Fred Smith. We happened to get on that personal stuff. Your partner at the new company, Canavision, is Fred Smith. Tell us about Canavision.
Yeah, Canavision is a decentralized media broadcast organization. Over the pandemic, a lot of shit happened, obviously. We were just talking briefly about it a second ago. Let me put my shade over here so you don't have this big glare. There we go. So over the pandemic, a lot of stuff happened in the cannabis industry. What people are reading in what is now emerged as the mainstream media in the cannabis industry, they're not getting the full story. Right. So there's like fucking over everybody from the stakeholders to the investors on the outside to the supply chain folks as well. There's not a lot of transparency anymore that we used to have. Without cannabis industry events,
Rico,
that are.
Hold on one second. We're doing that internet thing, and you are giving away nuggets right now, and nobody can hear us. So hold on one second.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you just fine, but the people can't hear us. So what's going on? We have no sound. I'm right here. It's all output. Should I go back to here? Output.
Tech.
I don't need to do this, right?
Check it out. Check it out.
Imagine you're gonna give away a bunch of information that is like super valuable and can't nobody hear them.
You know, I've been collecting gems. I feel like, I've been collecting gems and I want to share them with my people.
Definitely.
That's the same. Like, just while we're offline, people can see us, they can't hear us. It's okay. We edit all the videos close to live. But this downtime, right? That valuable information. Like right when it went into downtime, Aaron saw something in me that he had never seen. I was like, "Oh, this is a money grab. Hold up, let me get all this."
Yes.
I went straight.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. These are fucking shiny objects.
Yes.
Like if people need to understand. Take a step the fuck back.
Yes.
Look at be aware of the broad situation, but control the controllable. You can only control yourself, your nucleus, and what's with you. What is physically with you or what is remotely with you.
See the shiny objects. We're back. We're back, by the way. We're back. But see the shiny objects and identify them.
Be aware of them.
Yes.
But no, you can't do shit about the stuff at the top.
It's because they've
been
this stuff since forever.
And so here's some real shit, right? So some real shit happened to me. I had a huge breakdown, like right after George Floyd happened. Huge breakdown because I just had a baby girl, lost a lot of money going into the pandemic. Didn't know how I'm going to make money again. I'm like thinking about, I might have to go back to this, back to the old shit.
Grind, that different kind of grind,
Right. And I was just lucky to have a couple of people in my life. It was just like the total divine intervention. And I was able to take a step back, look at everything that's happening on a macro level, and then go in and handle my business on a micro level. And shit just started clicking. because a lot of people are just so emotional right now. And I mean, just like look at anything, not just in history, but in your own history. Like when wild shit happens on a broad level, what control do you have of that? You don't.
You don't. And this message, though, it's something that, that's why I love talking to you, because, there's such a synchronicity. I've been having the same conversation.
We got to be real about it, right?
We have to be real. And I've said to people in the very beginning, like, I was like, oh, okay, this shit is real. Okay, let me look at what I have. What do we have in place? What support systems do we have? What can we do? I lost half of my student population, didn't get a contract this semester because of the budget and all that stuff, but different opportunities arose because...
Okay, so can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
Yeah?
Can you hear us
okay? Perfect. All right, yes. All right, so... yes, all this bad shit happened. I was like extremely emotional. I had stopped meditating. I got out of my other like healthy practices, and I was just shitty, and there's nothing you could do on a macro level. Let's be real. How many of us are have the balls to go out and kill some people? Because if you do have the balls to go out and kill some of these leaders in our country, that's the only way you're going to affect change. If you don't have the balls to do that, find your most valuable human assets that are your friends.
What are your skills?
And find opportunity right now, because everybody is on that fucking emotional shit and nobody's being productive, which means there's a lot of issues. There's a lot of change happening in every industry, every vertical. So the time is now to find where those inefficiencies are, exploit those inefficiencies, and make money with your friends and toss those dollars around. Support each other's businesses. Now is not the time to be petty about shit. Like, I had beef with you before. Like, nah, let's get this money right now. This is a grab. You want to beef again? You want to be competitive against each other again? Well, let's do that in 2021. Like, now is the time to go.
After we made some money to compete with. Yeah.
Right. Like, so people talking shit right now, like, yo, keep talking that shit. We're going to talk that shit next year, but you trying to get this money? Let's do some fucking shit.
Yes.
Right? Like, let's collab and do shit. So Canavision is, what I saw is the rise of mainstream media in the cannabis industry. So our industry is kind of like a microcosm of America in its entirety.
We talk about this all the time.
And,
people.
Right?
Well, how is it in cannabis? How's it being a black woman in cannabis? I'm like, you mean, how's it being a black woman? Because it's the same.
Right.
Yes.
Right. I mean, we just got to do that. Like right now, like you can be pissed off. It's okay. It's natural. But what is whining about it and continuing to like whine and talk about the same shit like over and over and over again? They have proven that they don't give a fuck.
Right.
So now, while everybody's down, build our shit inclusive from the fucking beginning. If you want to be racist, go do your racist dumbass shit and lose money over there, bitch.
Please.
Come over here.
And go ahead and get on video and put it on the internet too. We want you to do that. Yeah.
Sad exposure.
Yes, exactly. Go ahead and reveal yourself. I'm getting money over here. We're circulating dollars. We're building our own economies. Fuck you. Go fucking lose money and go get mad.
Yep.
Go scream into the fucking void. I don't got time for that. So what I found is that the three sides of the industry, they just don't talk at all. Like, so you have the business, the medical, and the lifestyle side. And I mean, a lot of people also don't know that December 5th, United Nations and World Health Organization are supposed to be voting to decriminalize worldwide. If that happens and we go completely global with this shit, you know what that means? There was no war on drugs globally, number one. Number two, the only place with culture, cannabis culture, other than the U.S. is Amsterdam and Jamaica.
Netherlands and Jamaica. Yep.
So medical cannabis and industrial hemp, that's where the world's going. If you want to continue, but they continue to love America because of our brands, because of our swag, because of all of that shit. So if we want to survive and not get wiped out by all these huge corporate companies and everything, you got to collaborate.
Now,
make some fucking giants right now. You got to form Voltron.
Don't sleep on this. Let me tell you something right now. if you sleep on this, that's on you, because these are some serious nuggets being dropped. These are conversations that we continually have within our circles. That's why I'm just like, because the same thoughts have been coming to our minds. We've been talking about this before COVID, but especially post-COVID, as you start to have to expand your way of thinking as out of tragedy, out of challenge, right? That's how we grow.
Right.
So
Right.
now, what is Canavision? I know it's a multimedia company. How can we find you? Tell people what Canavision is going to be doing with this brilliant mind behind it.
Right. So I didn't realize like how broad my network was until Ebony. So we did the Ebony event, right? And so and so that whole thing. By the way, Ebony went bankrupt as well. Like the weekend after we did that shit, like the CEO was fired for like misappropriation of funds. Like you want to keep that fucking business within the Black community, buy Ebony on the cheap, like shit like that. Like all these giants are crumbling, they're falling.
Nugget drop.
Right? Get an investment circle together, buy some dope shit. like for real, there's opportunity right now. And that was the thing. Like they reached out to me around like 420 and they wanted me to do some stuff on 420 for them, but they gave me like a bullshit spot. And I'm like, nah, like they had cannabis on Monday on a 4-day or 3-day weekend event. We were the afterthought, and I had 2 hours for like a panel or some shit like that. I was like, this is what's wrong. And I told him this shit. This is what's wrong with the fucking Black community right now. The mainstream Black community is you're still stuck on the old style investments. If these people on the other side of the curtain, I'll just keep it at that, if they monetize, they make money off of our swag, off of our ideas, off of all of the things that we do, and we allow them because we don't collaborate with each other. If they're doing that, why the fuck are we still chasing the way that they fucking invest their money? No, don't do that. Be a trailblazer and support your own trailblazers. Find opportunities. So that's what Canavision was all about. Me seeing that there was nothing connecting these silos, right? Medical, lifestyle, and the business side. You know, everything came from the lifestyle side. Everything came from the legacy. Everything came from the trap. All these medical breakthroughs, everything came from that, right? Do you want to destroy your own legacy? Because that's what the cannabis industry is. That is the heart and soul of what makes us, right? So they don't get along with like the traditional business people. The medical side of the plant, they actually do respect to a certain extent the legacy side, because they get a lot of their ideas, they get a lot of their breakthroughs from those people who are not afraid to experiment with and who were not afraid to do that before. So they kind of jive with each other, but the business people are trying to take over the medical side and they're not really working well. So I was able to bridge that gap and then bridge the other gap as well. I was like, yo, why don't I just create a network that just binds everybody together? And like, how can you do that? It's like, oh, what is everybody doing right now? Content creation. Like, oh, why don't I create a content creation, an aggregate, a hub for that? But we also, the goal of it is to have a live hybrid broadcast event once a month, and we bring in like the best people from the industry all over the world, right? So
I love it. Live hybrid, right?
Yeah, So like every month we're gonna be
like a dinosaur.
We're only broadcasting live like 20 minutes, and the rest is like pre-recorded. We have a hub and spoke model. So Los Angeles is the hub here. My first 4 spokes are Detroit, Connecticut, or I should say New England. I have 2 over there, 1 in Connecticut, 1 in Massachusetts, Washington, D.C., and Newark, New Jersey. There's crazy stuff happening, very, very monumental stuff happening in all of those places right now. And so that was the idea of having them as my first 4 spokes. And we're going to be broadcasting live from Los Angeles. I'm going to have somebody live on the stage with my crew here at Los Alamitos. That's where our studio is, Infused Digital.
I saw that.
And
You know, when you posted up on Instagram, you put a picture of a studio, and I put
Yeah.
like the eye, like, oh, I see you, I see what you're doing, because you know we're all kind of like here. Well, here, this is like I was like, okay, we need changes. We got all this space here. Let's set the bar here. We got the other space over there. I got the
Yes.
crew in. I need better sound. Like here we go. We're in the intro web now, babe. Like right.
Yes.
He was like, why are you
Yes.
buying all this stuff? I was like, don't worry about it. It's an investment. It's
Right. Yeah,
I
so
love it. So that's in Los Alamitos. That's the hub that I saw. Okay.
Yes. And so we have a full studio out there working with Diffuse Digital, and we have the live broadcast there, but we have 2 segments every month as well. So our job here is to have like these shiny objects, right? Because California is the land of shiny object, and for some dumbass reason, everybody in the world believes that California has their shit together, so that's why everybody watches our programming. When I was doing Canada Gather Digital, I realized that all of the people who were coming in as sponsors and paid tickets, because I did some social experiments with the data while I was out there with our ad spend, and I realized like all the people were coming from emerging markets that were actually dropping dollars. The people from the established markets were not. And I was like, yo, why is this? I reached out to my people, and they were like trying to do their own shit. Like all the hustlers were out here, they're battling each other, and they weren't really supporting anything because we're used to like live events, and then, you know, we're used to seeing the same speakers. Like, why are we going to pay to get on somebody's webinar? You know, it's not in person.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting from everybody in established markets. That was California, Colorado, Seattle, and Portland. But the people who they were from all these emerging markets, and I reached out to them. I was like, how'd you guys even find us? Like, what made you want to spend like money on sponsorship? And they needed access to bigger stages. And they said they needed a broader audience. Like some of them were smaller MSOs. Some were just regional companies.
Now, you're using an
and they're
acronym.
like,
What's an MSO?
Oh, multi-state operations.
Multi-state operations. Just want to make sure, because, you know, we are a teaching organization. So go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Oh, since we're teaching and everything, let's put on my glasses.
There you go. Oh,
let's put on my glasses now.
By the way, I like the additional hair. I like the overgrowth of hair. I like the beard. I like it. So
we're twins now, Aaron.
yeah,
we're
right. We saw all this. Come on, COVID was like, let people be free. Yes.
Need some more time.
Yes.
I like it.
Aaron, you look like a handsome dog, the bounty hunter.
Hey, it's where I get all my power from, man.
like the softcore porn.
That's what he is. He says he gets his power from his hair.
Softcore porn. No penetration.
Definitely be softcore. No, he says he gets his power from his hair.
Sexy, man.
That's why I pull it.
Yeah.
All right, so yes, so back to the conversation.
Multi-state operators. Yes.
See, you have that much power. It attracts you.
So it's like small MSOs. They were like, yo, we need exposure. I was like, okay, cool. So I found a way to make sure I'm giving the small markets exposure so they can grow, and getting the established markets, I'm getting them fresh faces, new stories, because I found out what's going on in these cities. It's crazy. The stories that are like, there's crazy stories happening all over the industries, but everybody's focused on us because they think we have our shit together. People don't understand like how much of a shit show that California cannabis is, right? Like how we only have 3 Black pre-ICO owners of the OGs left.
Right.
We only have 2 Mexican left. At the blink of an eye, while everybody's out there arguing about how racist Donald Trump is, the whole industry's
little
gotten
tiny
swept.
local things around you are getting dismantled, and that's actually, it's funny.
Yes.
I was talking with my son's 5th grade class about that today, because they're having election talks and they're here at home, so I get to chime in and say what I want on camera. And so I do that, and they were talking about it today, and I said, son, this is not about Donald Trump versus Biden. You and your peers are talking about that because that's what their parents are talking about. But you and I both know, and we've talked about this in our home, what's most important is who's on your school board. Who's running who are your assembly? Who's in the Senate? Who's in your city council? Because that's who's impacting what's happening right around you.
Who's your controller?
Who's your controller?
Right? And then in places like here, I live in San Pedro, right? I found out at the beginning of the year. I went to the Small Business Owners Association meeting. If you own a fucking small business, doesn't matter what you do, find your local small business owners
And get your money. Get
operation.
your money.
Oh my
Get your
god!
money.
Oh my god!
There's another nugget, y'all.
Like, I was like,
get
holy
your
shit.
money.
Yes. Holy shit! And then on top of that, I found out who like the politicians were. Like, and like, there's all California, especially people that are watching that are from California. We have so many unfilled positions,
Yes.
like in local government. You can go in there, create your own fucking community. Quit fucking like. And I hate to be. I'm not trying to be like all like
you're
like
not promoting segregates. You're not
like
promoting
super conservative
You're
or anything
not
like that.
segregate,
But I'm like, yo.
Yes.
And I'm not saying like, oh yeah, like black people are whining. Like, no, I'm just saying like, yo, pause that shit for a second and get this money.
It's an opportunity,
right? Like we can
That's
talk. We can talk about like all the shit about it being hurt and like all that shit. Like I'm not minimizing that at all.
Like
but I'm saying this is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
It is. I like the discussion around the word opportunity because this comes up in the New Bridges series I'm doing, and we've been talking about opportunity versus or inclusive of access. So the opportunity has always been there. It's always been there, right?
Yeah.
But have we always had access to it? And so now I think
exactly.
Well, no. Right? The internet has now given us access to it. So the opportunity was there. I didn't just get this opportunity. I want to be clear on that. It's not a new opportunity for us. It's just now everyone has access to it. So you out there, in a beater, living with your mama, don't have no money, but you still got a damn smartphone. Somehow that's what's happening in the society, right? So
that's Obama phone though.
But the Obama phone has internet, so get on it and Google the SBA.
Phone is a fucking data grab, yo. Like, got him.
Got him.
NSA got your ass.
Got him. Yep. People don't know. Another nugget. People don't know.
Saying. Just saying. This is not a conspiracy track, but yo, that's what Canavision is. So we have a live broadcast.
Is. Okay. Yes.
Yes. Live broadcast here from Los Alamitos every single month, and then in between those segments, we're gonna have like this month. We're So for the pilot episode. We talked about what the fuck happened. I toned it down. It was like what happened, right? What happened over the pandemic? So we talked about that with the Knox Docs. We talked about that with Happy Monkey, my brothers Ramon and Vladimir out of Harlem, and then we were gonna have Cedric Haynes from Weed Maps on there, but he had to go like do some Congress shit. He's the director of public policy and corporate relationships with Weed Maps. And so this brother, he was like 3 years in the House of Representatives. And he's a cool ass dude too. I think he went to Tougaloo, HBCU down in Mississippi. He's helping them out with their shit right now too. Like he's an incredible brother. I got to meet him over the summer too. Over the summer. This whole thing is just the summer. This whole pandemic.
This is the summer, yeah. But wait, I gotta ask you, like, first, because people always want to know these things. Like, okay, you're telling me this wonderful story about all these things that you've done and what we need to do, and I'm sitting here yes, I agree. I'm sure. Yes. However, what about the people watching who are like, I don't know how to do that. I don't know nobody. I don't have no money.
You don't.
I don't get. How do I get in? What are you saying? But you already knew that guy. How did you meet? What you mean this guy from Tougaloo? Where's Tougaloo?
I've created a path through Canavision where we can all connect on all of that. So that's what we've built. We have built not even the industry's first, the world's first. We brought we built a content aggregation hub plus e-commerce plus Vice News, if you will, like all in one. And we created a path to transparency because everybody's getting fucked on these deals. Everybody.
Yes, everybody.
So everybody. So with all this opaqueness going on, the business people are getting screwed. The medical community is getting screwed. Oh, and yes, the trap is getting screwed too. And prices are through the fucking sky right now.
Through the fucking sky.
Right, and people are like, oh yeah, cannabis is doing great, but look around.
I say it all the
How
time.
many-
I say cannabis is doing great
Yeah.
for the people that were already rich.
Yeah, yes, and so that's what's happening. A lot of people are just getting rolled up and being pushed out of business right now.
Yes.
And nobody's telling that side of the story. And I realized that real quickly. I was like, holy shit, it's a huge opportunity. So that's what we built. Built a network in some of the most important places in the industry. That's where we're starting. That's only where we're starting. But we're reaching out to them and getting the opposite end of the story. So we're not anti anything. We're not anti big news. We're not anti big business, big corporations, any of that. We are counter to that. What we do is we're offering people access to the microphone so they can actually speak about these things. They can actually talk these issues out. And we're also offering on the opposite side of that solutions too. So
Stay on the same page. We stay on the
Right.
same page. That was why we created Bridges. I was like, we need to be
love it.
talking about this across platforms, and then we come up with tools so we can
Collaborate.
access them in the future. It's about collaboration and healing.
And both of
Yes.
our and by doing that, both of our loads get lightened.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Right?
I love it. Oh my God. Okay, wait. So tell me Canavision. Is it canavision.com? Canavision.com.
Yeah,
All right.
Can I Vision. So CANIVISION.com. Yes, we're doing that, connecting all people from all around the industry.
Canavision.com.
Yeah, yep. And so real quick, you have a big story that goes out, like say Forbes, Benzinga, I don't know, Green Market Report, whatever, wherever it goes up. What we do is we reach out to the people on the opposite end of that story. Who was affected by it, most positively, negatively? We want to hear from the people.
So good.
That's what.
So
yes.
good.
We want to hear from the people. We don't give a fuck about. We love the big people. Don't get me wrong, but we love. We are the little people. So we're reaching out to the small people and getting their take on it.
Yeah.
And I don't mean the small people like you're a small person.
Well, you said
those like the small market.
Impacted by it, those affected by it. Yes. So
Right.
we don't get to hear that side. We often don't get to hear that side. It's who gets to put the media out there, and they control the message. Then we watch the message, and then we go, this is the message. And then because we haven't been taught by excellent educators like myself to look into that message and decipher it and go pick out the details, we just accept it and we take it as it is. I love this. Oh my goodness. This is redefining COVID. You have redefined COVID. I want to thank you for that. Listen, we do this thing on the show though, where we indict every guest into the rolling circle of trust. And so I don't want to let too much time go by because all your light is shining so bright. We absolutely must have
talk
you
for a couple more hours.
I know we could talk all night. With that,
oh my God.
What we've learned from this first season of the show is that every single guest needs to come back on because there are things that we need to follow up on. But
we need to do it live.
We need you to come into the Kind Casa.
Let's
and you
go.
need to sit at the bar with us, and we will be doing it on set. So let's do that. Let's do that first.
I'm down.
First episode.
I'm down. If I do that, you guys come to Infuse and do some fucking content with me, and we just we have some fun. I support your shit. You support my shit. We become
all day.
Like fuck the mountaintop. I want a motherfucking plateau with my people so we can party. You know, let's fucking
hang out and then build ledges off the edge that we can step out onto and see.
Yes.
Wait, okay, so here we go. We're going to indict you into, you got to do it with me. You ready?
All right, I think the
rolling circle of trust.
I got it.
All right, so guests are encouraged to answer 4 questions, right? And they need to come from off the dome, right off the top of your head. Thank you for consuming with us today. We know that you're elevated and ready for this experience.
Yes.
So, question number 1, easy. What's the first thing you do when you wake?
Oh, when I wake, I hop on the computer because Tuesday through Thursday is daddy daycare. And I know I have just a couple of hours before she wakes up, and I won't be able to do any work until 7 p.m.
That's commitment. Hop on the computer. Okay, so the only thing I want to say is that I want you to do right before that is drink a glass of water. That's all I want you to do.
Water? Drink a glass of water? I'm sorry.
Before you pick up those blue lights from your screen. So drink some water. There you go. Ding, drink some water.
Gems.
Okay.
Drink water. It's important.
All right.
Especially
I love that though. He gets on his computer because he needs to provide for his child. See, that's winning. All right, so number 2. What's your favorite cannabis strain?
I'm a Tangy man, but my favorite full strain, mimosa. I love mimosa. Sweetwater Farmers has a really great mimosa up
Yes.
north out of Santa Rosa.
Mimosa came
Those are
up
my
a
guys.
couple shows ago.
Yeah.
That's these.
Mimosa.
What do you like about mimosa? Why? Tell people about the notes. This is a show we're educating. So
I think it's limonene. I think I'll be the first to say that my terpene fucking knowledge in that game isn't the best. And
but you
I've
said
never.
tangy, and now you said mimosa. So you like citrus.
Yes, I love the citrusy.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I'm a Tangy man though, man. I love like all the variations of Tangy, and but mimosa is probably my favorite strain, like all out.
Love it.
Sweetwater Farmers, they make an incredible one. It tastes just like orange juice and champagne. I promise you.
Shout out to Sweetwater Farms. We're gonna have to get them on the Responsible Brands
sounds-
Registry at Club Kindness. Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
Yes,
Love that.
I'll go up. Yeah, I'll go up and get some. And shout out to Chris, Lauren, the whole crew up there. I got to go up there. My sister used to fuck with them.
Nice.
Yeah, when my sister she was a consultant back in the day up in the Triangle. So
Nice.
lots
Very
of great
cool.
shit up there.
Sweetwater Farms. Clip that.
Mhm.
Okay, so number 3. This is our favorite question. How was your weed cherry popped? Now,
Ooh,
I don't want to hear about the first time. We want to know about
2 liter.
the experience. Yes.
Hold on, you don't want to hear about the first time?
I mean, the first time. If the first time was like my first time, I didn't even get high. It sucked. I don't even remember it.
Oh, no.
I want the
Yeah, it was-
experience. So weed cherry popping. Yes.
Yeah, so I was suspended from school. I was suspended from middle
Smoking
school.
weed.
And my homeboy Chris, it was a 2 liter 7-Up bottle with a bong. Took a rip off of that shit. And his dad was, like, I was country hood, right?
Yeah.
So his dad was an alcoholic, right? He was like passed out like on the couch. And we stole his car.
Oh no, you what? How old were you?
12.
Oh wow.
God.
See, that's like Kelly. That was like Kelly Bruce. She was
Damn,
like,
our
I
son
was
was
like
9 years
12,
old.
and there was like a
10 more years.
9-year-old in the room.
Chevy
We were
Caprice,
taking like
yep.
bongs. I was like, what?
Hold on. Who was
Yep.
driving?
Who was driving?
What's that?
Who was driving?
Chris drove up there. I drove back. We just went to the general store. Yes, we had a general store. It was not a corner store.
Okay, y'all.
Actually, it was actually a general store.
So most of the Club Kindness members are older, so they will know what a general store is. But most of our Twitch followers are not. So go ahead and Google general store, y'all. Go ahead.
It's like a corner store, but there ain't no corners around. So where are you? Generally here.
Okay, so weed. Okay, just to be clear, weed does not make you steal cars. That's not. It wasn't the weed.
No, we did. No. The weed wasn't. We were suspended for doing ratchet shit. And the fact that his dad was passed out on the couch from real drugs, from fucking alcohol that was killing him. He was dying slowly on the couch. We opportunity. We took advantage.
There you go. And you had access.
And we learned how to drive well before the law recognized it.
See, we're more advanced than we really know.
That's fun.
they
That's
just-
fun.
So that was actually that was the time that I popped my weed cherry. 2 liter 7-Up bottle. Chris Bellamy's crib. We took his dad's Chevy Caprice to the general store, stoned as fuck, and we went back and smoked cigarettes, maybe.
Yeah, I knew how to drive a little bit better, right? Yeah. Okay.
I was one of those kids.
Yeah, I love it. I was such a goody two-shoe. The first time I smoked weed, I think I was 19. I tried it. I was in this little circle, and they were like, give it back, you're wasting it. Because obviously I was with some white girls, you heard that. Give it back, you're wasting it. And I was like,
Right.
they said, just stop, you're not inhaling it. But now, years later, I'm like, give me the dab, Rick, give me that bong. Like,
Right. I was already
I've come a
smoking
long way. I've
cigarettes.
come a long way, yeah.
Yeah, I was smoking cigarettes. I never had an addiction to cigarettes. It's kind of weird though.
Yeah,
I just
same.
smoked.
I tried them, but it
I,
wasn't. Yeah.
I was like a chain smoker in high school.
Hmm.
And
I
not
think
in
that was it, and then
excuse
you're
me,
over
not in
it.
high school, in middle school. Yeah, and yeah, right.
That's so young.
But yeah, when
That's so young.
when I started smoking weed, I just stopped. I didn't have the need to smoke cigarettes anymore. So
When we
didn't do it.
have you back on, we're going to go into that backstory because there is so
Yeah.
much there. There is so much there. All right, so
I'm an
number
onion.
4, Rico. Number 4.
Mhm.
I know there's layers we got to peel, right? Yeah.
Always
Number
is.
4
And if you do it, I might cry.
That's it.
That's what you gotta do. You gotta expose.
That's the same. No, it takes time. I always say like there's a vetting process. Like it's gonna take some time for you to get in. I think my dog has to pee, y'all. That's why he's barking. And I've texted.
Okay.
I've texted
I
my
love your dog.
children.
Question
I've said,
number
come
4,
and
real
get
quick.
him. Come and get the dog. Nobody's
Yes.
coming. Question number 4.
Yes.
What's the call to action you want to leave the people with? They need to hear from you.
Oh, collaborate, please. Even if it's not through, of course, I want you through Canavision. Please collaborate with each other. If you care about the industry, if you care about the heart and soul of this cannabis industry, if you care about the heart and soul of your own community, man, collaborate with people right now. One way or another, you're either gonna die or you're gonna get through this.
Yes.
Chances are you're gonna get through this. So
Most likely, yes.
yeah, so build for that next come up because it's coming. And be ready. Have people on your team across the entire supply chain so you're ready for this shit, So that's all I can say. Collaborate. And if you want to collaborate through Canavision, I'd be absolutely honored. Please reach out, see what we're doing, become an affiliate, tell us what's going on in your hood. We'll get the editing taken care of.
Love it.
We're helping people make money right now. So
Love it.
let's have some fun doing it. All right?
Right.
Man, I wish we could go on and on and on, right? But this is so great. I want to thank you not only for joining us, but for joining us while traveling to do some business, because that's what you do. I want to make sure people know they can find you. This is Rico Lamitte. You can find him at Rico Lamitte on Instagram, and you can connect to all the things he's doing that way, and also at canivision.com. That's really important. You're a mentor for me. You're a friend. I'm always inspired by you. Thank you so much. I enjoy the time that we spend together. All of that.
That's right.
We're so grateful to have you here on Token Tuesdays with us, Rico.
Likewise.
Thank you so much. I will let you go. Be safe on the road, and I'm going to call you after the show, all right? Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Talk
All
to you
right.
soon. Bye.
All right, y'all. This has been such an amazing, amazing interview. I just want to continue talking to him because he's got so much knowledge. I was like, I wish I could take notes. I'm trying to write stuff down. But again, we leave you the nuggets so that you come back for more. We want you to research. We want you to visit. There's a gem.
Drop it.
clubkindness.org. Joining is free. There's paid membership as well. You get a little bit more access, but we're here to connect you. We're here to teach you. We want you to start practicing cannabis inclusive wellness. Thank you to our sponsors, EBK Apothecary, www.ebk-cbd.com. And Shop My Tree. This is clothing for kids that encourages activism, where 8% of every sale goes back to an aligning charity. Shop My Tree, and that's MAITRI.com. Thank you for joining us for Token Tuesdays. Once again, thank you to my host, my co-host, my special co-host today, Aaron Ramirez, my husband and partner in crime. Mario will be back next week with our next guest. You got to follow me at Mskindness on Instagram if you want to know who that is. Remember, cannabis is on the ballot. We've got about 3 more hours in California. Vote. This is voting day. Election day is here. I want to thank you again for joining us for another special edition of Token Tuesdays.
Get it.
Have a good night. We out.